Talking Music with Big Andy. In this episode, Rogue Charter are talking music with me, Big Andy. Hello and welcome to the podcast. And this week I have with me a band Rogue Charter, who are from London. Hi, guys.
Hello. Hello.
Hiya. Now you've only been going for a couple of years, and you've got a single out and a new EP out on Spotify. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is. Actually, the EP came out before the single. But yeah,
Okay.
it was a few months, but yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, right. And you play. I've seen it described either as hard rock and roll or hard rock music. It's kind of it sounds very much influenced by sort of 80s bands like sort of Guns N' Roses and that kind of style of music. Yeah, is that right? Yeah, so okay. So what are your backgrounds? How did you come together? What sort of things have you done in the past?
Right. So everything started with this band when I met Bruno on the guitar while I was working with another band before, and Bruno came in, and then we fell apart with the other band, so we kind of joined together. We had like strong chemistry, like songwriting.
Right.
So that's how we started. And then recently we found Alex on drums, and we're having rehearsals, and yeah, pretty much that's it. Like over lockdown, we didn't have much history. So.
Okay. So you're not, obviously by your accent, you're not English by birth. I would say. Where do you originate from then?
I'm Italian.
I'm from Brazil, and I'm from Russia.
Wow, fully international band. That's cool. So what brought you all to London then? Why are you all in London?
Yeah, with the music, like because for the kind of music we do, could never find someone like them in Brazil.
Right.
We go big, so yeah, London was a big city, big for rock and roll, and that's when I decided coming here.
The band don't have any proper videos up at the moment, so let's just hear some of the music.
1, 2, 3, 4. You think I'm a posh rich son of a bitch? I take maybe I should be least to a free. Say I'm a stupid, I don't know how to ramble. I say you never live your life in a ditch out jungle. I left home as I used to. Didn't know you were around, I didn't see you. Now that something is missing and you know that's wrong. Tell me, motherfucker, where do you come from? I guess you're hiding under your mama's ceiling. I guess you get my money, then you're onto my feeling. Just like I knew what your life is about. As if I didn't know that somebody like you was around. I left home as I used to. Didn't know you were around, I didn't see you. Now that something is missing and you know that's wrong.
So have you been playing prior to the lockdown? Have you been playing lots of live gigs or anything?
Yeah, here in London, I played a few gigs in this band that Troy said, where we met. And after that, we started doing just open mics. So we were looking for other musicians and all, but mostly open mics before lockdown.
Okay. So, what sort of how would you see your music going from here? Do you want to take it? You want to do more recording? You want to do more gigging once lockdown's over? I'm assuming.
Yeah, we are actually planning to record a single, which will be out like right before during the summer, and that's our next like main step. Basically. We're gonna go full on promotion and trying to get some radio play.
Right. Okay. As I say, I mean, it has a sort of very 80s feel to it, and that sort of thing. You can definitely hear the influence of Guns N' Roses. But what are your personal influences as individuals? What sort of music are you all?
All right, I'll start. Yeah. Well, yeah, I was raised on classical music originally, so it was Bach, Beethoven, all this stuff. But once I moved to Europe from Russia, I used to live in Portugal before London, and so that's where I had my first bands going on, and obviously AC/DC, Deep Purple, Green Day, uh, Led Zeppelin, of course, yeah, were all like a big influence for me and a big inspiration to start playing drums because I'm self-taught in drums, and yeah, I would just like play covers of some songs of these bands, and so yeah, with more and more years of experience, I just got to know more about just music and different styles, and yeah, just gain experience.
Cool. The others?
Yeah, you go first.
Yeah, for me, Aerosmith, AC/DC, and Gary Moore and Guns N' Roses. I think those are the four biggest ones that got me into this.
Right.
And for me, like I started to like sing rock music when I discovered Guns N' Roses, and then I also like kind of look into it. So I also like Aerosmith, Motley Crue, and the sort of like American 80s band.
Right. Okay. So I mean, at the moment, it seems like it's odd that there's a kind of odd mix around at the moment of independent bands. There's some that are going more that sort of like classic rock, and then the sort of so the 80s sort of style, and then the other ones seem to be going more into kind of like a sort of punk sort of feel to it. So have you never wanted to go into that side of things at all?
Into like you mean like in the punk side of things?
Yeah, sort of slightly harder, faster sort of.
Yeah, I mean we do appreciate the punk rock music, and sometimes we try. Of course, like punk is not like the genre we want to do, so we kind of convey the punk influence into the hard rock.
Right.
Yeah, we'd be looking into it.
Okay. At the moment, you don't actually have any videos out. Are you looking to do any kind of videos for your songs and that kind of thing?
Yeah, we're trying to make a music video for our.
Any song in particular that you're looking at doing? Because I mean, you've got 6 tracks on the EP, and you've got the single Ruby. Which were there any tracks in particular you were looking to do as videos? Because I think some of them lend themselves more to visuals than other ones do.
Yeah,
We're busy like looking around the studios around London, talking to producers, seeing their studios in order to record in the meantime this one song of the chain.
All right.
Yeah, we're spending most part of all the rehearsals trying to get it tight. So yeah, we're looking forward to record it soon.
Okay.
The video.
And then the music video is going to be on this next single.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, for me, I think Ruby is a bit different to the EP, because the EP is very kind of like they're kind of hard rocking numbers, and they're all. It all says they've got explicit lyrics, that kind of thing. But Ruby is very much a kind of ballad sort of love song, and that's kind of really I wasn't expecting that. I must admit, when I was listening to the stuff on Spotify, I wasn't expecting Ruby to be what it was, and it was quite. Oh wow, that's really different. it's so why the? I mean, I know every band has to have a ballad because you have to have that quiet bit in the middle of the set to give you guys a rest, if nothing else. But is there any particular reason for why you did a ballad as your single?
I mean, it didn't start from a specific reason. It's just that Ruby is not like a love song. I wrote the lyrics about like being like in a bad place with your head and like
All right.
talk about problems. So that's where it all started. So it's let's say like it's basically about like depression period.
Okay.
It's kind of like I mean like I'm sure many people can relate to that. And then I was composing with Bruno because Alex was not in the band yet. And we were writing, and then we said, okay, we have like a full-on rock and roll EP. Maybe it's time to have some like more like a radio-friendly sort of.
Yeah.
That's what we think.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So it's always good to have something that the non-rock stations will play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell it by the way you walk. You can tell it by the way you speak to me. You can tell there must be something wrong. You can tell it by the way you smile. Demons breathing inside your brain. You can tell it by the way you hide it now. Ruben, about the hell behind your eyes. Ruben, tell me about the tears you hide inside. Ruben, oh, Ruben, forget about the things you left behind. You can tell it by the way you stand, by the way you lay up on your bed. I can see it, but you don't see it.
Have you had any interest or any sort of airplay at all on any radio stations, or?
We had it was called the Underground College Radio. Yeah.
Okay.
They are from America, and they asked us for like we had an interview with them.
Yeah. I mean, the 80s sound is still very big in America. It's still something that sells really well over there. So, I mean, would you be looking to try and break into that market if you could?
Even tomorrow.
It's not easy though, is it? It's not easy to get in there. That's the problem. Okay.
Yeah.
So, have you done any touring in other countries, or have you only done gigs in this country?
Not with this band.
No. I mean, I played in the countries I used to live in before London, but here in London, this is my second year, and it was just around the venues of like Hackney, Shoreditch, some central London. So
Right.
This area.
Okay. So is that where you're based, around that sort of that area, around sort of Hackney, Shoreditch, around that sort of way?
No.
Yeah, I mean, we don't live all together. Me and Troy, we live in North London, and Alex live in Central London. But,
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's cool. Right. So, you've been putting everything out yourself, financing everything and producing everything yourself. Have you been doing that on sort of like computer software at home, or have you actually been going into studios?
The EP we had like the drum recorded in the studio, and then we spent days figuring out how to mic an amp in a bedroom,
Right.
and that's how we basically did all the other instruments, and the same for Ruby, basically.
Okay.
But for this next song that's coming out, we are going to an actual studio, with an actual producer.
Okay. Okay. So where's the studio? Is that in London as well? Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Hackney area, Finsbury Park.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So and then from then on, you're going to be looking at doing more recording, I'm assuming. Do you want to do a full album?
For now,
For now, this is good.
yeah, for now it's just a single, yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Well,
But
we
it depends on the restrictions and how the lockdown is going to be eased and how the school life is going to go back to normal. So
yeah.
it's going to return quite quickly, which does not seem to be the case. But we will have like more just activity, doing both like video clips and recording and composing songs. So just like
Yeah.
we kind of depended, all of us, on the measures. So
Yeah,
it depends on that. I think.
and right now it's not like the best idea for us to record an album because we can tour and show people the albums.
Exactly.
So the single looks like a better idea for this situation.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, I can see that the album's a big project to take on straight away anyway, especially after coming out of lockdown. But yeah, sorry. Yeah, at the moment, I mean, we don't know exactly what's happening with the lockdown thing. Hopefully, now they've started talking about easing the restrictions. You'll be able to get out there and do more stuff and pick up a wider audience. Playing clubs in London is a good way to do that. Seeing if you can get some support slots and things like that with other bands. I definitely think. I mean, there is a big market for the sort of stuff you're doing, and it seems to be going pretty well on Spotify. You're getting people listening to it, so I mean, it's got to be a positive thing. You're working towards it, so that's good. And as I say, you guys have only been together since 2019, so I think you're doing pretty well given the restrictions you've had. I think you're doing marvelously, to be honest with you. Here's some more of their music.
She thinks that she's the queen of the drama in the underground scene. You hear her talking about something with a red-haired dream. The smell of the makeup from the top to the feet. The rest is a fake and why nobody can see. Keep acting like the toughest of decadence in Camden High Street. I know you decrying, spreading that poison around and around. I like to see you crying. The queen of the drama and her face is bleeding on the ground. Keep on faking smile, wounds are waving goodbye. Victimism all the time, going around with the friends of your lives. Once I took you out from your habitat, but my sexual quest made you run out of breath. You ran away from me and got back to your friends of the dead. I know you keep crying, spreading the poison around and around. I like to see you crying.
So you haven't got any hard and fast plans for the future apart from this single and the video you're working on. There's no definite plans for anything
Mm.
at the moment.
We are still we tend to plan like every couple of months. We do like a replanning of things according to how things evolve and like how our music is doing,
Yeah.
and all of that. So at the moment, I wouldn't be able to answer that question. I mean, our next aim is like to get this single out, and then according to the evolution of that, we will see what's going on.
Yeah, no, I understand completely. It's difficult to make long-term plans with everything as it is. So I must say, sorry, having listened to your music, I say I like your style. I like the sound of it. I think it's really cool. I really like Ruby. I think it's I don't know why. It's really odd because it's not the sort of thing I'm normally that into, really. But it just kind of I don't know. It took me by surprise. I think that's why I was so into it. Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining me. I hope everything goes really well for you. I look forward to hearing new single and seeing video when it comes out, and I wish you all the best when it comes to hopefully the lockdown will be over soon, and you can get out there and start gigging, and maybe I'll come and see you live somewhere. Okay.
Right.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks everybody for watching, and check out Rogue Charter. Sorry, I don't know why I said Rogue Nation. It's my head. Rogue Charter on Spotify, Facebook, and check their music out and see what they're doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Talking Music with Big and